Hello, Mr. King. It is time for your watch. If you remember from the valuation I did, I was able to get it to ascertain that it's all alive. It's just really, really, really dirty. So it wants to run, but it can't. Biggest issues I can see right now are these cosmetic things with the hands. We discussed that. You are going to have me do my best to clean, and we'll go from there. The one thing to be concerned about is, in order to get these plastic shrouds off, is they need to be flexed. They have this flat edge right here on both sides that catches under. That's catching on the case. There's like a little lip, and so I've got to get that off of there. These were made to be flexible, but over many years, the materials they don't necessarily always, but they can get weak. I've seen some of these where they just shatter. I'm going to do my absolute level best to get this shroud off in one piece. I have to take the shroud off to clean and to do the crystal and to get the rotating ring off. I'll do everything I can. So I'm going to actually do everything I can right now, and I'm going to come back to it and do the rest. I'll feel a lot better if I can get this shroud off. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a second so I can really look at what I'm doing. Whew. Always nerve-wracking. There are your collars and your shroud screws. There's your shroud. It is intact. Dirty, but intact. Put that aside for hand cleaning. I think I need to reset my house clock, because that is correct. My clock is not. Okay, now that's done. We can start to pull this thing apart. Come on. Dirty. Come on. Come on. Look at that. Plastic. Not even rubber anymore. You'll be able to play with that. Those are going to get cleaned over there. This goes into the parts washer. Let's get this thing apart. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do with the hands. The metal surface is pretty rough. There's going to be a lot of brassing going on. I will do everything I can. Oops, I got two. 2 out of 3. There's your sweep hand. Come here. Okay, I'm going to have to do it this way. There is your dial. I'll look at that mark around there and see if that can be cleaned up. I'll do what I can. Dial's undated, and that's normal. Lume looks decent. Okay, let's get this thing apart. It's high. On, off, get off. Okay. Anti-magnetic shielding. Yeah. I'm amazed this thing is running. Wow. Look at all the corrosion. Wow. Really got some water running in here. That button failed. Okay, so I'm going to have to manually remove this and then chemically treat it. So there's going to be some corrosion remediation on that. Let's look at your circuit. Yeah, no wonder that button didn't work. Huh. Okay, this side of the circuit looks decent. I'll just have to clean the back really well, probably. And we got some corrosion here. This pin is not connecting. I'll have to hand clean that. Yeah, look at that. Corrosion on the connection for the alarm. I'm amazed that worked. Amazed. Wow. Seriously, look at that. That's crazy. Pulled the plating right off of this thing. I'm probably going to want to replace that as the plating's gone. I'll clean it, I'll look at it, but I'm going to get another one out. Okay. Now let's pull the train. We got a spot of rust on one of the teeth of this wheel. It's right there. Tooth looks okay. There's your stepper motor. Let's get that out of here. Okay. That is the movement ripped down to basically nothing. Except for all the rust over here. Come on. Okay. There's your reflector. Here's your LCD section, which I'll have to hand clean. There's the back of your train. That. Okay. Okay, now let's see. Hand clean that, hand clean that. This has to get hand cleaned. Let's pull your case apart. That has to get hand cleaned. Actually, I'll pull the case apart over there. Oh, come on. Out we get. Come on. chapter ring, crown gasket. Boy, this is stuck. Come on, get off of there. Chapter ring, or some people like to call it the reho. I call it the chapter ring because that's what I call it. Okay, there's that. That goes over here. That's gonna get cleaned over there. Gotta hand clean your case, gotta remove these buttons. Oh, there's your old case back gasket. Yikes. That goes into the case cleaning over there. Okay, gotta get those little gaskets out of there. Hand clean this. Oh, get these out of the way. There is your stem rust washer. There's your rusty stem now, or stem spring. Now it's time to get the crown gasket out. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. I gotta go get a tool. For anybody watching this who's contemplating working on one of these, when you're removing the male crown post from the crown, you gotta use heat. Seiko glued those in place. Gotta heat that crown up. Because if you don't, you can snap that threaded section right off. Then your crown is junk. And that'd be a bummer because these crowns are very hard to find. Look at that, a little bit of heat and it just, well, a little more heat's needed. Just don't want to stress it. Let that heat soak in. There it is. And there's your old crown gasket, covered in rust. Okay, so I've got a lot of little rusty things I have to clean. I'm going to have to go through and physically remove rust from all these parts. I'm going to hand clean the case, get all this stuff off of there. Buttons, rotating ring, your spacer. Got to get all this stuff off of there. Got to work on your hands. So I got a lot of prep work before I can get down to actually servicing your watch. But let's get going. So this is where it's been hanging out. I have it all back together and it's running and it's been giving me very steady numbers. I'm going to see if I can get it a little tighter than this. These watches have variable trimmer. They're an adjustable quartz watch. It's in steps though. It has preset steps that it does. It might be that this is the tightest that we can get it. This is, by the way, this is complete seconds, tenths of a seconds, hundredths of a seconds. So this is about I don't know, it's a little more than a tenth of a second per day gaining. But let's get this back off of here. Here's your beautiful movement. Okay, I'm going to try to slow this down a touch. And let's see what we get. What this does is it counts to 10. It's gate 13, and that means it's based on math. How's that? Okay, let me take this down a little bit more. Well, let's look at the next gate and see where it's at. I might have to speed it up again. I like to have it gaining slightly versus losing. Okay, speed that up. Yeah, I think that's one of those things, because they have, if you look at the circuit on a, okay, this is a related one, and you can see right here, see the 4 marks? This is an H557, but it's the same idea. Whereas you turn and you're only going to get 1 adjust, 2 adjust. This is tighter than that, but that is where I think we're going to be. And I can try it again just for fun. Yeah, it's going to be the same. So we're going to sneak it back. Let's test that again. Ooh. I bet you that's, well, let's see. I think it's having trouble hearing. And there we go. It was both more complicated and more straightforward than I expected. Your hands cleaned up, the metal on your hands cleaned up actually pretty well. There's some little bit of hazing on it in a couple places where it brassed, but that's it. I thought that maybe the metal surface, the plating would come right off, and it didn't. I was able to lighten up your hand loom a little. It's definitely cleaner than it was, and I also solidified, I undercoated the loom to make it so it doesn't fall out of your watch. I also set the hands correctly so they're not grinding around the top of your dial. Speaking of your dial, look at that circle that's not there anymore. That big circle that went around where that was. If you look super, ooper, smooper close, like right there, you can kind of see a shadow where it was. But even that, you'd need magnification. Rotating ring. Rotates 360 degrees, both directions with clickies. It's not too hard to turn. All functions work. Your light works. And your alarm works. Set to the right time. Serviced and adjusted. Okay, there were two parts that were bad. Here's your old pieces. One part that was bad was this. This is the rest / connection thingy that's for the alarm spring. Yours was rusted out. Some of the plating was gone. Gold plating. I didn't even want to fiddle with it, so that we replaced. This is your hacking lever, and it was surprising. This end right here was right next. This end goes right next to the crown, because when you pull the crown in and out, this lever gets sprung, and there's a little tip to this, and it just got hit with the rust and the other stuff, and it just cracked right off. So you have a new hacking lever and a new connection for the alarm. There's your crystal and your gaskets and your old Seiko battery. Here is your strap, which I will put back on. But the watch is good, and it is ready to go. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much.